This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting, brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, June 5th. First up, new Canadian legislation to tax foreign streamers. The Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission has passed the Online Streaming Act, amending the Broadcasting Act. The new bill requires foreign streaming services operating in Canada to pay 5% of their Canadian revenue to support the domestic broadcasting system. The levy is expected to raise $200 million Canadian per year. There are some concerns with the bill. University of Ottawa law professor Michael Geist highlights that the bill originally was intended to also update the definition of CanCon, Canadian content, but did not. So an older definition of what counts will apply to the new money raised by C11. Up next, Discord and TuneIn partner to bring live radio to the social platform. Instant messaging and voice chat app Discord has partnered with TuneIn to offer an official feature that gives access to TuneIn's full streaming library of AM/FM radio stations, sports content, and more importantly, podcasts. Co-listening is a massive trend on Discord, stemming from the early days of the platform where users would use special bots to join voice calls and play YouTube audio through the microphone of the bot. A trend so popular, YouTube had Discord disable the functionality to stop noticeable ad-free traffic spikes from Discord bots. An official feature enabling Discord users to consume podcasts casually and voice calls not only better empowers existing podcast audiences, it likely will create new podcast listening audiences as new listeners are exposed to friends' favorite shows via TuneIn. Next up, Colgate launches first ever UK podcast advertising campaign with The Diary of a CEO. The campaign launched this week in the UK via a deal coordinated with Colgate media agency Wavemaker UK and Adalicious. The campaign will run for 6 months, promoting Colgate Total toothpaste and the brand's new Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release feature. The more legacy brands podcasting brings into the fold, the more it demonstrates its value to the remaining crowd who haven't given the industry a shot or have misconceptions about podcast advertising. And finally, IAB's online ad spend numbers indicate brands focused on short-term sales targets. We're going back down under. According to the IAB Australia Online Advertising Expenditure Report, online ad spend increased 9.3% in Australia to 3.7 billion Australian dollars in Q1 2024. IAB Australia CEO Guy Leroy says the report suggests many marketers are focusing on short-term sales targets due to continued economic downturn and lack of consumer confidence. That said, it's encouraging to see continued investment in digital advertising. As for the rest of the news, Skydance Media, which has co-produced and co-financed films with Paramount Pictures since 2009, has agreed to terms of a merger deal with Paramount. The Flight Path FYI blog discusses the difference between pacing on actuals and using predicted performance to adjust campaigns on the fly for better performance. Meta has confirmed they're testing unskippable ads on Instagram, preventing users from scrolling past the ad in the feed until a timer finishes. Alex Lewis, co-founder of activism agency Revolt, breaks down the opportunity brands have to support era-defining causes, and TV upfronts are expected to drop CPM, that's cost per thousand impressions, for streaming content a second year running, in part due to a flood of new inventory as huge streamers all implemented ad-supported tiers within a short span of time. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, Gavin Gaddis, Tom Webster, and Newton Shuttlecotty. This episode is hosted on Spreaker. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.